Hey everybody, I'm Jammer, and today I want to talk about a question that I'm getting a lot from plenty of people that I know personally, the YouTube comments and stuff like that, even people I ran into at E3. I just been getting this question a lot. I really wanted to kind of talk about it today and give you my thoughts on what I think before I get into, all the E3 recap stuff I want to talk about, as well as ARMS coverage, like my review, character guides, some fun stuff like that. But I did want to talk about this today before I got started on all that other work this coming week. And the question of, in the title of the video, should I buy a Nintendo Switch now or should I wait? And this is, I don't know why I get this question off as I did. Like, a lot of people are just on the edge of whether they want to get a Switch right away, get it now, or they should wait till later. And I kind of want to just talk about that and give you my ideas and my thoughts about whether you should get it now or later. Obviously, before I even get started, in a way, I technically am a little bit biased, just because I do already own a Switch and I'm not holding back like other game you play or other gamers might be, So in that sense, I guess because I did buy it already, maybe I'm more biased with that. But I do want to talk about just the scenario as a whole and just, just the perspectives of each side of the argument, I guess you could say. And for first off, the reason a lot of people are thinking they want to wait is just because there maybe isn't enough games to push them over the edge just yet. There are a lot of must-have titles, but it's they're in the, wishy-washy, they're not sure what's going on there. I've also heard the argument of, is Nintendo going to iterate the Switch, kind of like the 3DS does? And to that, I honestly say, don't plan on the Switch iterating anytime soon, really honestly. Like, even the 3DS didn't get the XL version until at least a year and a half, maybe a little longer, after the original 3DS, so I could be wrong there. And the Switch doesn't seem like they're going to be doing that because Nintendo is considering this a console, not a handheld, and they have never iterated a console ever. Obviously, this could change because technically it's a hybrid handheld and a console. Sorry, my nose is like snuffy. So it's technically both, and it is entirely possible we could see an iteration of the Switch later down the road. But it's not to say that it could be definitely better. It maybe could be a predicted maybe a, Switch Mini, maybe that, without the dock at all, so it's just handheld mode, which would make no sense. I don't know why it would do that. I don't really see an iteration coming out in the next few years where it's going to be improving upon the Switch that we already have with better screen quality or better, or even better inside stuff. Maybe better screen quality of the Switch itself. But the inside stuff, I really don't think they're going to make a more powerful Switch a few years after their first Switch. It doesn't seem like Nintendo would do that. it took them how long to get out the new 3DS from the 3DS? And even then, the only games that are, take advantage of the extra processing power of the new 3DS are there's a very small selection. Some just run a little bit better, better frame rate, stuff like that. Others, for example, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, and arguably Hyrule Warriors, on Legends. So technically, those are technically in a way exclusive, but those are only like 3 or 5 games. I think there's some SNES titles or something like that. So, like I said, I don't really think the Switch is going to be iterating anytime soon. So really, if you're holding off to think, oh, maybe I'll get the upgraded version when that comes out, so I'm halfway in the generation, or if you want to call it like that, I already have a ton of games to play that I haven't yet. I have a lot to catch up on. I don't think that's personally the best route to go, just because you don't know for sure they're even going to iterate the Switch. They might just keep it just what we have for the next 4 or so, 5 years, or depending on how long they continue to support it. I don't know. I wouldn't bank on an iteration coming anytime soon. And it could be as simple as how the new the 3DS versus the 3DS XL, where that was just a bigger screen. I think they moved the what's it called? The stylus. They moved the stylus, I guess, around. And I guess the cartridge slot, I think, moves around as well. It's not that big of a jump besides, obviously, screen size, and I don't see the Switch getting any bigger than it already is. I think it's at a perfect balance of being big enough so you can see the screen and even play co-op that way, but it's also, if it got any bigger, it'd just be kind of a burden to carry around. So I wouldn't bank on a Switch Plus coming anytime soon, so don't bank on that anyways. So to the topic of, should you get it now? If you are interested in a game, and let's say Splatoon 2, or maybe it's Breath of the Wild, or something like that. If there's only one of them, and you really want to play that game, the argument for saying I want to wait till there's other games on that console to actually, justify, I guess, owning it, I guess you could say it in that way. And that makes sense. Of course you're not going to want to buy a console for one game, even though I've done it plenty of times before. The 3DS, I bought it just for New Leaf. the Wii U, I bought it just for Smash Brothers, even though I actually got it a year in advance to Smash, so I had other games to play till then. But technically I bought it just for that game, and I eventually obviously got other stuff since then. The Switch, I technically bought right away for just Breath of the Wild. I mean, obviously, yeah, I knew this other stuff was coming later down the road, and obviously I want to be on Nintendo's current hardware, but that, I mean, if you can think of it in that way, technically I did buy it just for Breath of the Wild, because that's the only game I bought initially. It's an exception to Shovel Knight, which I already own on Wii U, and, you know, I already own it elsewhere, so it's not like I bought it for that thing. And I even had the option to get Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, so, I mean, I'm going off on a tangent here. But the point is, I mean, if you like a game enough where you're thinking about getting a console for it, I mean, it's not like they're going to drop support to that console. Other games are going to come, and I'm sure they're going to interest you later down the road. It's not like you're going to buy the one game and then be done with it. And even so, if it's that good of a game and a great enough experience, maybe it's worth it. Like back in the day, I bought a PSP solely for Monster Hunters. I never bought a single game since, and I am so happy with that purchase. I have so many great memories, hundreds of hours in that game. And that could be the same for someone with buying Breath of the Wild. They could have zero interest with anything else that Nintendo's been offering, lately anyways, and just play Breath of the Wild for hours and hours on end. And that could be enough to justify the purchase, you know? As far as, like, waiting to get it, I mean, another argument is, like, maybe there's gonna be a price drop, which, like, okay, the Switch itself, like, the base model, like, I don't expect it to drop much anytime soon. I mean, there might be, like, a holiday bundle this year where, like, maybe you'll save 20 bucks or something like that, bundled with Mario or a controller or something along those lines. But, and then even for the console itself getting a price drop, again, that's not going to be years and years from now. And you know how Nintendo does with their Nintendo games and consoles, they hold value for a long time. I mean, even Super Smash Bros. Brawl was still 50 bucks until the Wii U and 3DS version came out, which I think it's still like 45, so it dropped like, what, 5 bucks, 15 bucks since it originally came out. Like, so that's really not a thing to think about unless you're obviously getting used, you know, which, again, that's only a few months after release, you know. But, it's not like it's going to get any cheaper anytime soon. And, like, let's just say for a hypothetical situation, it drops, let's say you save, like, 20 to 50 bucks by waiting a few years. So then you get a cheaper controller, the bundle with, like, a game or something like that, and you save, like, 50 or so bucks. Is it worth saving 50 bucks to not have it for 2 years? Like, are the experiences that you'll have within those year and a half or 2 years being able to play these games for potentially on hundreds of hours, is it worth saving the 50 bucks to not play those games for a year, 2 years, to then play it then, only to save, you know, like I said, 20 to 50 bucks? And that's how kind of I rationalize it. Like, yes, prices probably will go down later in the future. Obviously, it depends on the developer, but Nintendo, like I said, their games and their hardware stay very steady with their price points. So it's really up to, do you want to jump on the train now or later with the goal of maybe saving a few bucks? And I honestly don't think that's worth it. I mean, I used to be of that mind. It's like, yeah, I've saved as much money as possible. But you're going to be missing out on a year, maybe 2 years worth of playing that game with friends, online, with communities, maybe with, like, me, with a live stream or something like that, or not just me, but obviously, like, a YouTube personality, stuff like that, in other tournaments and whatnot. Like, is it really worth saving the extra 20 bucks, but you have to wait another year out, you know? That's the one thing that I reckon, like, I think that's the biggest point, you know? Like, I don't think it's justifiable. Maybe it is to you. Everyone, like I said, like, everyone's financial situation is different. Whether it's being worth the amount of money that it is, I think it's personally way worth the money that it is. Especially, I highly recommend if one of you finally pick up a Switch and they don't have it already, try out handheld mode. Like, take it out of your house. Like, a lot of people when they first buy it, at least, I mean, even I did this as well. I just played it as a home console for the first week, even. I never took it out of the house. And I really highly suggest you take it out of the house, because that's really when the magic clicks and you realize, holy cow, all these console-level experience games I've been playing at my home, in the cover of my home on a TV, I can now play it on the car ride to my friend's house, or on the train to work, or whatever. Like a road trip to freaking E3, you know? You can play it on the go, and that's a fantastic experience that, like, you really can't, understand until you've actually done it, you know? So, I think that's, like, the main point for me. Like, obviously, like I said, it really comes down to everyone's situation. Like, financial, maybe they don't have enough money just yet. Maybe the time isn't right for their budget. But again, is it really worth saving the 20 to 50 or so? But 50 is honestly stretching. But like maybe realistically, you'll maybe save 30-ish, give or take. Is it really worth saving that 30 bucks, but then miss out on potentially years of playing this game, or even just a year? Like, I think it's worth spending a little extra coin, but then you get that experience and play. Like earlier. I mean, obviously the experience will always be there, but while the game's hot and a lot of players are playing it online, I mean, a lot of other channels are covering it, there's excitement about it when the game first comes out, and it's fun to be part of that community. And again, it really all comes down to everyone's personal situation, whether it be financial or they don't value that time to play the game. Like, obviously, like, for example, Breath of the Wild will still be Breath of the Wild 3-5 years from now, you know. But going along and discovering things on your own before anyone else, or with everyone else at the same time, there's an excitement to that. Like, oh, have you found Eventide Island? Oh, no, I haven't seen that. Have you gone up to the Rito Village yet? What? There's Rito, you know, there's like all sorts of discovery. I mean, that's just that game alone. I mean, obviously Mario Kart with tournaments and stuff like that. You know, and the new battle mode and playing with that. ARMS, that just came out. And again, we're going to be playing that this week with some live streams. I believe Thursday for you guys if you want to come and join me and whatnot. And that'll be a lot of fun to be able to do that and set up a room to play with you guys. And obviously as the game continues on, I mean, probably a year from now we won't be setting up ARMS rooms and playing. Maybe we'll boot up one, just for kicks and gigs. But I mean, like, it won't be like a weekly basis like what we'll be doing in the next month or so, you know, until Splatoon 2 anyways. So again, like I said, it really is all up to your personal situation, financial, and whether you value that time to play the game. And I really think it's worth spending an extra few bucks that you can easily earn back within a day of work at a McDonald's even. You know, I think McDonald's was paying like $10 an hour. So literally work for 2 more hours on a shift, like stay closing a little bit later. And that's enough to make up your 20 bucks or however much that you'll potentially be saving later down the road. And I think it's important to just jump on the train and, I don't know. I mean, guys, you know what? Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? If you haven't bought a Switch already, I mean, besides, obviously, the stock issues that, like, I mean, Nintendo's doing their best, and, like, it pops up relatively frequent. I mean, better than the Wii, anyways. But, like, let me know in the comments what's been holding you back from buying a Switch if you haven't already. Or if you have, let me know in the comments why, like, what compelled you to do it, and do you regret getting it as soon as you did? Do you wish you waited a little bit later, maybe till this holiday with Mario Odyssey? Definitely know all that in the comments. Give this video a big, awesome like. If you haven't already, subscribe for tons on Nintendo Switch. Like I previously mentioned, throughout this week, I'm going to finish my ARMS review. That should be up actually in the next few days, because there isn't much else I need to cover in order to get my full impressions of the game anyways. And then, of course, I'm going to be recapping some E3 stuff. I will go more in-depth on some of the titles, like talking more about Metroid Prime 4, Kirby, Yoshi, stuff that I play, like Fire Emblem Warriors, Mario Odyssey, all that fun stuff. Then, of course, in regards to even more ARMS, we're going to be streaming it on Thursday in the afternoon, around 4-ish Pacific, give or take. It really depends. But definitely come and join us. I'm going to be setting up a little lobby. We'll all be able to play together, and it'll be a lot of fun. And then, as well as character guides and stuff like that. I'm going to be doing a lot of tips and tricks videos about ARMS and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.